You walk through this world surrounded by abundance. It flows like rivers, grows like forests, and sparkles like stars in the night sky. Yet you stand parched, barren, in darkness. Why? Because you've been convinced of a fundamental lie, that abundance is for others, that prosperity must be chased, hunted, and captured through endless struggle. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. This moment could change everything for you. Abundance is not something you achieve. It is something you allow. It is not something you work toward. It is something you accept. It is not something you must prove yourself worthy of. It is something that, by divine right, already belongs to you. I've understood this truth since I first put pen to paper and declared, "Your word is your wand. The words you speak create your own destiny." Today, we stand at the intersection of timeless wisdom and modern understanding, and my message remains unchanged. The universe is not testing you with scarcity. It is waiting for you to claim the abundance that has always been yours. I want you to close your eyes right now, breathe deeply, and prepare to reclaim your divine inheritance. The walls you've built between yourself and prosperity weren't constructed overnight. They were built brick by brick, word by word, thought by thought. The voice of limitation whispered, "You can't afford that." The shadow of doubt suggested, "People like you don't succeed like that." The grip of fear tightened, saying, "What if you lose everything?" And with each whisper, shadow, and grip, another brick was laid. But I need to ask you this. What if these walls aren't protecting you? What if they're imprisoning you? Look at the natural world with me. Does the oak tree question its right to grow tall? Does the river doubt its path to the ocean? Does the eagle hesitate before soaring? No. They simply fulfill their nature. Your nature, your birthright, is abundance. Not just survival, not mere sufficiency, but true, flowing, expansive abundance. The game of life is a game of boomerangs, I wrote years ago. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. If you have lived in lack, it is because you have thought in lack, spoken in lack, and moved through the world as if lack were your destiny. Today, that changes. I'm here to make sure of it. I've studied the lives of history's most abundant souls, and I've found a common thread that connects them all. It's not just the titans of the past. Look at Oprah Winfrey, who rose from poverty and abuse to become one of the most influential and wealthy women in modern history. She often says, "You become what you believe." Her words echo Shinn's philosophy perfectly. Consider Sarah Blakely, who started Spanx with just $5,000 and became the youngest self-made female billionaire in America. She kept her vision of success before losing a single dollar. Don't be intimidated by what you don't know, she advises. That can be your greatest strength and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else. I look at Elon Musk, who has repeatedly risked everything on his visions for the future. When Tesla and SpaceX were both on the verge of bankruptcy in 2008, he didn't retreat into scarcity thinking. He doubled down on his belief in abundance and possibility. When something is important enough, he says, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. And what about you? What mountains of abundance are waiting for you to claim them? I need you to understand that the universe operates through immutable laws. Just as gravity doesn't care if you believe in it before pulling you toward the earth, the law of abundance doesn't require your faith to exist. It simply is. Your only choice is whether you will align yourself with it or continue to resist it. The resistance comes in many forms. I've seen it countless times. Perhaps you believe that money is the root of all evil, not recognizing that it's the love of money above all else that causes corruption. Perhaps you've internalized the idea that suffering is noble, that struggle is virtuous. Or maybe you've simply never given yourself permission to receive the abundance that is your divine right. Let me be clear. There is no virtue in unnecessary struggle. There is no badge of honor for choosing lack when abundance stands before you, arms open, waiting for your embrace. I want you to think about the vastness of this universe for a moment. Billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, unlimited energy, unlimited matter, unlimited potential. And you think there isn't enough for you? The very thought is not just mistaken. It's an insult to creation itself. J.K. Rowling understood this when she was a struggling single mother on welfare before becoming one of the world's wealthiest authors. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life, she says. She didn't see limitation. She saw opportunity. She didn't focus on what she lacked. She channeled what she had: creativity, determination, and an unwavering belief in her vision. Jay-Z grew up in the Marcy Projects of Brooklyn, surrounded by poverty and violence. Today, he's a billionaire entrepreneur who transcended the music industry. "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman," he famously rapped. He refused to accept the limitations others placed on him. He claimed his divine right to abundance. Do you see the pattern here? These aren't just success stories. They're testaments to a fundamental truth about how the universe works. They didn't create abundance. They aligned with it. They didn't force prosperity. They allowed it. They didn't beg for success. They commanded it, expected it, and therefore received it. I need you to hear me clearly. Abundance is not a destination you reach after a long journey. It's the journey itself. It's not a result. It's a starting point. It's not something you earn. It's something you embody. When I wrote about the divine right to abundance, I wasn't speaking metaphorically. I was describing the actual mechanics of the universe. The invisible forces are ever working for man, who is always pulling the strings himself, though he does not know it, I explained. Owing to the vibratory power of words, whatever man voices, he begins to attract. Think about that. Every word you speak is setting in motion forces you cannot see, but which shape everything you experience. When you say, "I can't afford it," you're not describing your reality. You're creating it. When you focus on debt, you generate more debt. When you obsess over lack, you manifest more lack. I've seen this proven time and again, not just in the distant past, but right here in our modern world. Look at Tyler Perry, who was once homeless, living in his car while pursuing his dreams. Now he owns one of the largest film studios in the United States. "I was running from poverty," he says. "I think it was literally running from poverty that I created these characters that were bigger than life, and I was able to hide behind them." Or consider Sophia Amoruso, who dumpster dived for food before founding Nasty Gal and becoming a multimillionaire entrepreneur. The straight and narrow is not the only path to success, she reminds us. She claimed her right to prosperity on her own terms. What's holding you back from doing the same? Is it fear, doubt, unworthiness, or perhaps something deeper, a fundamental misunderstanding of your place in the universe? Many of us were raised with contradictory messages about abundance. We were told to work hard, but also that rich people are somehow corrupt. We were encouraged to dream big, but also to be realistic. We were taught the virtue of giving, but made to feel guilty about receiving. Is it any wonder we're confused about our relationship with abundance? Let me clarify it for you right now. You are not separate from the abundance of the universe. You are an expression of it. Just as a wave is not separate from the ocean, but a manifestation of it, you are not separate from the infinite prosperity of creation, but a channel through which it flows, or doesn't flow, depending on whether you allow it. The key word here is allow. You don't need to force abundance. You don't need to struggle for it. You simply need to stop blocking it. And the primary way we block abundance is through our thoughts, words, and beliefs. Listen to what Gary Vaynerchuk, who transformed his family's liquor store into a $60 million business before becoming a digital marketing pioneer, has to say. Your legacy is being written by yourself. Make the right decisions. He understands that abundance isn't bestowed upon us by some external force. It's claimed through our choices, moment by moment. Or consider Arianna Huffington, who co-founded the Huffington Post and built it into a media empire worth hundreds of millions. After a physical collapse from exhaustion, she redefined success beyond money and power to include well-being and wonder. We think mistakenly that success is the result of the amount of time we put in at work instead of the quality of time we put in, she says. Do you see how these modern visionaries are echoing Shinn's timeless wisdom? They're not pursuing abundance as something external to themselves. They're expressing it as something intrinsic to who they are. Now, I want to address something important. This isn't about positive thinking as a superficial exercise. This isn't about pasting a smile on your face while ignoring real challenges. This is about understanding the fundamental nature of reality and your place within it. Quantum physics has shown us that at the subatomic level, everything is energy and information. Nothing is solid. Nothing is fixed. Everything is in a constant state of vibration and potential, coalescing into form based on observation and expectation. In other words, science is now confirming what mystics like Shinn understood intuitively. Consciousness shapes reality. Ray Dalio, founder of the world's largest hedge fund, practices transcendental meditation daily and attributes much of his success to it. Meditation, more than anything in my life, was the biggest ingredient of whatever success I've had, he admits. He's tapped into the vibrational nature of reality, aligning his consciousness with abundance. Or look at Brené Brown, whose research on vulnerability and courage has made her one of the most influential thought leaders of our time. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome, she teaches. This willingness to be fully present, even in uncertainty, is a hallmark of an abundance mindset. I want you to understand something profound. Scarcity is not your natural state. It's a learned response to fear. You weren't born believing there wasn't enough. You weren't born comparing yourself to others and finding yourself lacking. You weren't born doubting your worth or your place in the world. These are acquired limitations, and what is acquired can be released. The question isn't whether abundance is your divine right. It is. The question is whether you're ready to claim it. And claiming it begins with a decision to see yourself and the world differently. Start with your language. Words have power. I've taught this fundamental truth. Your word is your wand. I wrote, the words you speak create your own destiny. When you catch yourself saying, I can't afford it, replace it with, how can I afford it? When you hear yourself complaining about lack, shift to gratitude for what you already have. When you feel the impulse to say, that's impossible, ask instead, what would make this possible? This isn't semantic games. This is reprogramming the operating system of your reality. Next, examine your beliefs. What stories are you telling yourself about money, success, and abundance? Are they empowering or limiting? Are they based on truth or inherited misconceptions? Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn and billionaire investor, says, "The person passionate about what he or she is doing will outwork and outlast the guy motivated solely by making money. He understands that alignment with your purpose attracts abundance naturally." Sarah Blakely didn't set out to become a billionaire. She solved a problem that frustrated her: visible panty lines under white pants. Purpose came first. Prosperity followed. This is how abundance works. It's not pursued directly. It's attracted through alignment with your highest expression. I want you to think about this. What if your financial situation right now isn't a reflection of your worth or even your past actions? What if it's simply a reflection of your current relationship with the concept of abundance itself? I have taught you, every man has within himself the capacity of grasping good and bringing it into his life. This capacity isn't something you need to develop. It's already there. It's your natural state. You simply need to clear away the debris of limiting beliefs that have accumulated around it. Look at Bethany Frankel, who went from struggling to make rent to building the Skinny Girl empire and selling it for a reported $100 million. "I've always been able to manifest what I want," she says. She didn't chase money. She followed her instincts and allowed abundance to find her. Or consider Tony Robbins, who was once so broke he washed his dishes in the bathtub of his 400-square-foot apartment. Today, he owns multiple companies generating billions in revenue annually. The secret to wealth is simple. Find a way to do more for others than anyone else does, he teaches. He understands that abundance flows through service, not greed. I need you to realize something crucial. The universe is not random. It's responsive. It's not punishing you with limitation. It's reflecting back to you your own deepest beliefs about what you deserve and what's possible. When you declare, "I have a divine right to abundance," you're not making a wish. You're stating a fact. You're aligning yourself with a fundamental truth of existence. You're stepping into the current of prosperity that has been flowing around and through you all along, waiting for you to surrender to it. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to your highest potential, to the natural flow of abundance, to the person you were born to be before the world told you to be someone smaller. Think about Jeff Bezos starting Amazon in his garage, focusing not on becoming the richest man in the world, but on creating the most customer-centric company. If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to double your inventiveness, he says. His abundance came from adding value, from solving problems, from serving others. Or look at Whitney Wolfe Herd, who left Tinder after experiencing sexual harassment to found Bumble, becoming the world's youngest female self-made billionaire at 31. She turned adversity into opportunity by creating a dating app where women make the first move. Build the company that you would want to do business with, she advises. The path to abundance isn't about mimicking others' journeys. It's about discovering your own. It's not about following a formula. It's about following your intuition. It's not about forcing outcomes. It's about aligning with the natural flow of prosperity that wants to express itself through your unique gifts and vision. I understood this when I wrote, "Intuition is a spiritual faculty and does not explain, but simply points the way." Your intuition is your direct line to infinite intelligence. It doesn't speak in logical arguments. It speaks in nudges, impulses, synchronicities, and coincidences that aren't coincidences at all. Have you ever had an idea that wouldn't let go of you? A vision that kept returning to your mind? A desire that burned within you despite all rational objections? That wasn't random. That was abundance trying to express itself through you. Ed Mylett, who rose from poverty to become one of the youngest self-made millionaires, puts it this way: "The biggest lie ever perpetrated upon the human race is that you're not enough. You are more than enough." This echoes Shinn's teaching that we already possess everything we need to manifest our desires. Or consider Marie Forleo, who started with nothing but a dream and built a multi-million-dollar empire helping others create lives they love. The key to success is to start before you're ready, she teaches. She understands that action precedes clarity, not the other way around. I want you to grasp something essential. Abundance isn't just financial. It's emotional, spiritual, physical, and relational. It's wholeness in every dimension of your being. It's the courage to express yourself fully, to love deeply, to create freely, to live passionately. When you restrict abundance in one area, you restrict it everywhere. When you believe you don't deserve love, you also block financial prosperity. When you doubt your creative abilities, you limit your earning potential. When you withhold forgiveness, you constrain your capacity for wealth. Everything is connected. Everything is one. This understanding isn't new. Ancient wisdom traditions have taught it for millennia. What's new is our ability to see these principles validated by modern science, psychology, and the lived experiences of countless individuals who have transformed their circumstances by aligning with the laws of abundance. I look at Richard Branson, who started with a student magazine and built the Virgin Group empire spanning hundreds of companies. Business opportunities are like buses, he says. There's always another one coming. He embodies the abundance mindset that knows opportunities are limitless. Or consider Reshma Saujani, founder of Girls Who Code, who failed in her first congressional run before finding her true calling, empowering girls in technology. Perfection is the enemy of progress, she reminds us. Abundance isn't about getting it right the first time. It's about persisting until you align with your purpose. The divine right to abundance isn't a concept to be understood intellectually. It's a truth to be lived experientially. It's not enough to nod your head in agreement. You must embody this truth in every cell of your being, in every thought you think, in every word you speak, in every action you take. Start with gratitude. Abundance flows to those who appreciate what they already have. I've always taught, gratitude is the law of increase, and complaint is the law of decrease. When you focus on what's lacking, you create more lack. When you appreciate what's present, you create more to appreciate. Next, give generously. This seems counterintuitive when you're seeking abundance, but it's a universal principle. What you withhold will be withheld from you. What you circulate returns multiplied. Mackenzie Scott, who received billions in her divorce from Jeff Bezos, has given away more than $14 billion to various causes. Her wealth continues to grow despite, or perhaps because of, her generosity. Then, expect good, not as a magical thinking exercise, but as a practical stance toward reality. Your expectations are powerful. They shape what you notice, what you attempt, and how you interpret events. When you expect abundance, you spot opportunities others miss. You take actions others avoid. You persist when others quit. I want you to understand that claiming your divine right to abundance isn't selfish. It's necessary, not just for your fulfillment, but for the healing of our world. When you live in lack, you cannot give your best gifts. When you struggle in scarcity, your unique contribution remains unexpressed. When you deny your prosperity, you deny us all the full expression of who you were born to be. Marianne Williamson said it perfectly. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Are you willing to shine? Are you ready to claim the abundance that is already yours? This isn't about accumulating for accumulation's sake. It's about becoming a conduit for the infinite flow of prosperity that wants to express itself through your unique gifts, talents, and vision. It's about recognizing that you cannot outgive the universe, The more value you create, the more abundance returns to you. Look at Oprah again. Her billions didn't come from hoarding, but from serving. Creating content that elevated consciousness, starting conversations that needed to be had, giving voice to those who had been silenced. The more you praise and celebrate your life, she says, the more there is in life to celebrate. Or consider Mark Cuban, who sold garbage bags door to door as a child, and now owns the Dallas Mavericks among many other ventures. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, he insists. It doesn't matter how many times you almost get it right. No one is going to know or care about your failures, and neither should you. All you have to do is learn from them and those around you. This is the mindset of abundance, resilient, persistent, unattached to specific outcomes, but committed to the journey of growth and contribution. It's not about never failing. It's about never staying down. It's not about avoiding obstacles. It's about using them as stepping stones. It's not about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions. I've always taught, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. This is the ultimate expression of claiming your divine right to abundance, living as if it's already yours, because at the deepest level, it is. I'm challenging you now to make a decision. Not a hope, not a wish, not a maybe someday, but a bone-deep, soul-strong decision to claim your divine right to abundance in all its forms, to reject the lie of limitation, to embrace the truth of your infinite potential, to align yourself with the natural flow of prosperity that is your birthright. This decision won't be made once. It will be made moment by moment, choice by choice, thought by thought, word by word. It will be tested. It will be challenged. There will be days when scarcity thinking tries to reclaim its hold on you. But with each recommitment to abundance, your new reality becomes more solid, more tangible, more unmistakably yours. The walls you've built between yourself and prosperity can come down, not through force, but through surrender, not through struggle, but through alignment, not through proving your worth, but through recognizing the worth that has been yours all along. Remember, you are not a beggar at the table of abundance. You are the heir to the feast. You are not fighting for your place in prosperity. You are remembering it. You are not earning abundance. You are embodying it. This is your moment. This is your time. Your divine right to abundance awaits your claim. Not tomorrow. Not when you've figured everything out. Not when you feel worthy. Now here, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this sacred, powerful, unrepeatable moment of now. The declaration is simple but profound. I have a divine right to abundance, and I claim it now. With these words, you set in motion forces that will rearrange your reality to match your command. With this intention, you step into the current of prosperity that has been waiting for you all along. The abundance you seek is seeking you. The prosperity you desire desires you. The success you chase is chasing you. Stop running. Turn around. Open your arms and receive what has always been yours.